everyone. On today's video we're going to show how to replace the starter relay solenoid on a 2008 Yamaha AR230. I'm having an issue with my starter. I go turn it, fire the motor up. Sometimes it takes a couple of keystrokes for it to actually fire. And I've pretty much have isolated it to the relay. So to get access to the starter relay solenoid, they're located here, and of course identical on the other side. These are MR-1 engines, 2008 Yamaha. So I'm going to show you first of all what you can do in emergency if it completely if the relay fails on you and you can still get the motor fired up. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to remove these 4 screws right here, and a little Phillips head screwdriver works best. So let's get that done. All right, so I got the cover off. You're gonna notice that there's a gasket. Of course, the gasket needs to be good. You're gonna notice a little bit of gray RTV, and that's fine. Number one, it kind of holds the screws for you. I got one still stuck on that. But what you're gonna see too is you're gonna see a little bit of sealant, because these are like little plugs for your wires to help keep the moisture out. So how this works is power coming in, this is going to your starter. If you had an issue to where you had no crank, no start, what you can do, and I'm gonna have to set this down and show you, get these caps off and show you how to do this. Now this is an emergency situation only. Alrighty, so I've taken those plugs, I've slid them down the cables, I've pulled the boots out, and there's the 2 contacts. By jumping those 2 contacts with a wrench, you can use a pair of side cutters like this, stick it in there, and you can jump those 2 contacts. That'll fire the motor up. Highly recommend doing that as a last resort. Run your blower for a long time, because if it sparks, you're gonna have a spark. And you know what that is. Spark, gas, boats, bad. So once you guys have that cover off, you can touch those 2 terminals together, and that'll bypass the relay, and you can start it up. And actually you can see there the right wire, because it says BAT and then it says starter. So the wire on the right is coming from the battery, the one on the left is going to the starter. Bada bing, bada boom. Pretty freaking simple. So now we're going to show you how to get this box off so that you can open up the back side of this cover to get this out to replace. So we got to loosen that bolt, and 2 bolts on the other side. There's probably going to be some wiring cables that we might have to cut some zip ties on so that we can get this thing to come out far enough. And then we're pretty much going to service it right here on top of this engine cover. Alrighty. Also, before doing anything, make sure your batteries are shut off. Okay. So to get to the back side of those bolts that I just showed you, you got to remove this clean out tray. I don't think there's any other way to do it. So just do it. And the 2 bolts that you're going to have to remove is that one, which as you can see is right then and there. And then the other one, if I get the camera focused in on it, it's right above it. Just be careful. This is sharp fiberglass. You will need a helper. And let's go and get these bolts pulled off. Alrighty. So I have my helper, my wife, on the outside, pulled those nuts. I've loosened all the nuts off the back, so this thing is just sitting in here loosey-goosey. There's going to be a spacer. This is going to be a little plastic spacer of the bolt. What I would also highly recommend is taking a screwdriver and loosening these while it is still fixated on the bulkhead here on the transom, because they're just on really tight from the factory, which they should be. Just use the right screwdriver to get them off, and we'll take this off and go from there. All right, so now we have the back side of the ECU box up here. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to remove all these 10mm, I believe. Let's double check. Yep, 10mm bolts to get access. One thing that I had to remove, and I'll just show you on this side, is this little, I believe this goes to one of the pisser hoses. It's just a hose that sits on this thermostat housing. I'm not sure, but anyway, I removed it. As you can see right there, the nipple is just sitting right there. That allowed me to get it undone, and all I had to do then was just unplug the CDI rectifier or the rectifier right here. I believe that's what that is. And that was it. And I was able to get all my access, all my clearance. I'm not really yanking on any wires. So I'll go ahead and get this thing removed and show you, get this cover pulled off and show you what it looks like on the inside. Okay, all the screws are removed. I have removed the cover by simply just picking and prying it off. And there you can see is the back side of the starter relay. So now that we got that done, I'm just gonna do a close inspection. I think on some of the older models, the AR SXs and SRs, people had problems getting water in their water boxes. So I think it's imperative that you examine, this is the cover, that this gasket goes on like a piece of cake, you know, you wanna make sure you put that back on. That's a little bit of just, this looks like just gray RTV. Looks like they use that gray RTV where this plug is right here. So that's it. So my next step is I'm going to completely remove the power wires, the starter and battery cable, which you can see right there, and pull this out. All right, one thing I should say too is that you should have your power wires removed, the wires going to this ECU box, before you take it apart. It'll just make it easier. Like again, have everything loose and off. Make sure your battery's off, blah, 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 blah. So this piece right here, and you can see the wires, take notice of how the wires are wrapped around. They kind of wrap around there and come in this little box where the extra wires are. We're gonna go ahead and pull this out. And then here's my replacement one right here. Now, I did not get the Yamaha one. You know, it's a boat, I get it, but I've replaced these in multiple different vehicles, multiple Yamahas, from R1s to YZ250Fs, you name it. So I got this one off Amazon for like 20 bucks. Yeah, I didn't want to spend 80 on the OEM one. And obviously I will let you guys know how this works. I'm sure it's gonna work just fine. Of course, this has a different screw head on it. These have these little 8mm heads. We'll find out if they are compatible. The same threads. This is what came off. This is what came off the factory ones. Of course, it's got a washer and a lock nut, and it's a Phillips head. I like the 8mm head better, but I might just reuse these because sometimes you never know. They might be cheap stainless. I'm not sure. Who knows? So let's get this swapped. Let's get this swapped over. Alrighty, guys. So here's a comparison of the OEM one. This one right here is the OEM one. This is the one I got off Amazon. I'll have the link. You know, biggest difference is this is like freaking copper, brass, I don't know. Of course, this is probably stainless. This is molded in there. The wires are molded inside of it. These have just terminals on it. These have the actual extra rubbery weather pack connector piece to it, as these do not for the bullet connectors. The screws are different. You know, this is what Yamaha uses, and this is probably just some whatever chintzy ones. You pay for what you get, I mean, pretty much. But these are the same thread, so I'm going to reuse those. I'm going to hang on to this just in case. I don't know, I'm going to rip it apart and take a look, see if it was getting corroded or not. And that's really about it. So we're going to go ahead and, color's different, but obviously black is ground, yellow is the yellow is going to be the battery connect cable, same as this, and hook it up. We'll go from there. Alrighty, it's put back in there, and I'm going to run the screws down and get it mounted up. Alrighty, so I got it bolted back up, all four corners, plugged in my rectifier, which is that, I believe. So now I just attach my cabling to it. I'm gonna put these 4 screws on, reattach my hose that I disconnected, fire the motor up, we're gonna find out. Alrighty, everything's wrapped up, double checked. We're gonna go ahead and turn the battery back on. Remember, always run your blower for a little bit, and let's see if that fixes it. That's it, baby. She cranks right over. Kaboom. And that's how you do that. Enjoy. See ya.